Zed here, back to do another video review. Very excited to bring you Thrilling 30s Generations Brainstorm. I got this figure thanks to Toy Fever in Clarksville, Indiana, inside the Green Tree Mall. And no, they don't pay me to say that. That place is a really good place to go if you're looking for Power Rangers, Transformers, Star Wars, generally everything that's very pop culture. But yeah, I got this thanks to them, and thank goodness I got a second run version. One of the reasons I'm so late on making this video is because the first run of this thing had a real big problem with the pilot Arcana. So yeah. Now, I'm going to, right now, I'm just pretty, because I was going to talk about what Brainstorm's been doing in the comic books, but honestly, I haven't read a lot of those comic books. And what would be saying then would be probably just be repeating what's on TF Wiki right now, so no point in that. So I'm pretty much going to give a quick recap from G1. He is one of the 4 new Autobots who show up during G1. He becomes a headmaster when he goes to Nebulos. In fact, Brainstorm was the one who suggested the concept of the headmaster process, of also trying to figure out where a human would go while they're in robot mode, while they pilot their vehicle modes. Of course, this has changed in the headmaster continuity, where... Hold on, let me get it. Cockpit is actually quite hard to get open. Instead of Brainstorm being the giant robot, this is actually Brainstorm. And this is just a transector kind of mech body for them to use. Personally, I kind of like that a little bit more than the Nebulos way. What I can tell you in the comic books, he currently doesn't actually have a headmaster function. So this was really just put in for fans of the headmaster system, which I love. Like I said earlier, this mold had a huge amount of problems in its first run, namely with Arcana and with a gimmick inside of his chest where his cockpit is. Either there were problems with parts being improperly put together, or just bad plastic quality. It kind of did make me... one of the reasons I didn't order offline. That was one of the strict reasons why I don't like ordering offline, or online. Because, most times those online retailers are the first ones to get production runs, and they generally come with a few flaws. That's why I prefer to buy from retail. If I can do it. I was starting to get a little desperate, and finally we're going to break down and buy, Brainstorm from Amazon, until I ended up going in Toy Fever the other day. So, yay. But this is definitely still a very awesome toy to own. It is not accurate to G1, and I do have my G1 Brainstorm with me. I am not going to attempt to put him back in vehicle mode again. I don't know if I've stated this before, but his legs have gotten to the point where they're so hard to turn, I feel like I'm breaking something. So yeah. Also, if anyone does have a G1 Brainstorm body they're willing to sell to me at a reasonable price, I'll be more than happy to buy it from you. As long as I can get into vehicle mode, I'm a happy camper. I don't need the guns, I don't need the head, I just need the body in one piece. But yeah. So, surprisingly, this figure... Oh, one other thing I should show you. Besides taking off the guns, he also has a landing strut. And he has 2 bits right here, I guess, act as extra permanently out struts, but he does have that. And one thing I should say, when people take off the guns, a lot of people say this looks like an R-Wing, and I can kind of see it. A little bit in the wings and maybe the nose, but... yeah, some people have complained about the legs sticking out. They don't bug me. They just seem like giant thrusters to me now, to my point of view. But yeah. So transform. First thing, take out the guns. Second thing, take Arcana out. And he just about transforms like his G1 counterpart, which I was very surprised to see when I first saw video reviews of him. Was that how much he transforms like his G1 self does. Which is a very odd, which is, you know, pretty unusual since a lot of the other figures in the Thrilling 30s and such actually try to move away from the old ways of trying to transform the figures. Oh, one other thing I should mention, there's a, see that smaller hole above that larger hole? That's for HR figure art stands, which he can be plugged into and look like he's in flight. Yes, I do have a few, I do have 3. They are very fun to have. Now, the official instructions before you put on the head say to keep the wings out. Yeah, no. He tries to go through a doorway, he's going to go clunk, clunk. No. Close up the wings. That's a little bit better. I don't mind these tips sticking out. They're not as obtrusive. Those just, yeah, that's, no. Now, you could stick the guns back on the nose and the foot forward, or you can actually fit them into the screw holes that are on his back and actually stick them on his back like that, and the feature popped before I was ready. This does also have the old Headmaster gimmick of showing strength, intelligence, and whatnot when you plug him in, although it doesn't work the same way as the old G1 system, which I found a little disappointing. I understand they were pressed for room, but you'd think they could have found a better way than what they did. Now, you see in there, that's the chair. When you press the head in carefully, it will fold the chair down and make his old G1 stats pop up. And if I'm not mistaken, hold on, I got the G1 one right here. Knock the camera around, Edward. Yeah, his stats are just about the same from G1. So that's a nice nod. I like that. It is sitting behind the cockpit rather than just being above the cockpit like the G1, but yeah, so this is him in robot mode. This is an awesome robot mode. I like this. Again, I know some people have had trouble with the Arcana head breaking. Haven't had that. And just to let you know, if you are getting the second run of him in his box, his head will be strapped by 2 of the clear rubber bands to hold it in place. That's proof that it's the second run, and there's hopefully no production problems. His wrists are not overly loose like some have had, nor the doors that cover them. There is a little bit of give, but I wouldn't say some really bad, like floppy. Just kind of like, it's okay. Once you put the guns in, they're not going to move around. I will say, damn, those are some big feet. But I guess he kind of needs them. He is a bit, surprisingly, despite being how hollow he is a little top-heavy at times. He also has the most, oh, you gotta love that noise. Just strongest ratchet joints you'll ever hear. So, yeah. You can put the guns back there, and he can wield his guns, much like his G1 counterpart. I only kind of wish with this, I wish they hadn't gone with trying to worry about super neck articulation like they did, giving him this kind of ball-jointed head. I like it. I really would have preferred if they had kept the G1 port. So you could take, like, the G1 head from this brainstorm and attach it to this one. That would have been really cool. I wish they would have done that. But, take what you can get. Other than that, I love this figure. I definitely recommend it to anyone who's a Headmaster fan or is a Brainstorm fan. This is definitely one of the figures you just need to pick up. And this is one of the figures that makes a fantastic end to the Thrilling 30s line before we now move into Combiner Wars. Which, I've got 2 of them, and quite frankly, it's going to be a glorious year for Transformers. And I've got a feeling this Combiner War thing is not going to just last for 1 year. It's going to be here for probably 2 or 3, if we're really lucky. But yeah, Like I said, if you can find him, do it. Try to get the second production run. One other thing I'm kind of hoping, someone does a third-party kind of head. A new head to maybe replace this one. I'm not saying it's bad. I would prefer something that's kind of closer to the Smart Robin head. For those who don't know, Smart Robin is fan project version of Brainstorm. So, if you can find it... So, I would really hope that someone would just a third-party company would come along and make just a brand new head that hooks into this port a lot better and a lot safer. And maybe makes it look just a little bit more G1. Not too much, but just a little bit more. But other than that, again, great figure. If you can find him, go ahead and pick him up. So until next time, this is Titan Zed saying I'll see ya when I see ya.